Well, hello everybody. How are y'all
Hello,
doing? Welcome,
hello.
welcome. Welcome back to another week of Kingdom Builders Business University behind the scenes. As you know, my name is Michelle Green, and this is part of our KBBU team. Y'all see Mr. Preston, who is coming back every single week. And we have today Dr. Mary Hancock, our financial funding coach.
Woo-hoo.
Yes. We are so excited to be here tonight because tonight we are going to be talking about business finances. That's right. Even though class is out for the summer and we won't be having another class until October through March of next year, but we are still coming to you behind the scenes so that we can talk about all things business. If you don't know us by now, let me tell you a little bit about KBBU. We are a business university and we offer to the elite entrepreneur the opportunity to come to our school and be able to learn about how to set up their businesses properly. We also help you with setting up your money, your credit, and your funding for your business. In addition to that, we have business and life management skills, and we have marketing, media, and sales courses. So these are all online courses that you don't even have to leave the comfort of your home to be a part of. We have an associate certification level where what is available right now is the private strategy sessions. We have the undergraduate course, which is what we created the behind the scenes for in the first place. And the undergraduate course is like a 5 to 6 month course that we take you through every Wednesday from 7:30 to 9. And that's why we come on after the class normally to give you some entrepreneurial tips. And to furthering your education in KBBU, you can even elevate to the VIP Masters class. Woo, 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 woo.
Yes, indeedy. Yes,
So,
indeedy.
yes, and our coaches are always taking our VIP Masters class and elevating their companies to the next level. So, if you are a KBBU alumni and you're watching us tonight, listen, make sure that you get in on the next VIP Masters class coming up in October of 2025, honey. Yes, indeed. But let's get to the topic tonight. We're talking about business finances. We're coming from an angle tonight that is a little different than most. So we want to know, why is it that we have so many businesses that want to be supported, but then they don't have their finances in order? Why are there so many businesses that want to have the shout out for their particular company, their industry, and they want us to participate in the organization, but they aren't running it like a business? They're running it like a hustle. So tonight we're going to get into this topic and talk about it. But first, I want to go ahead and allow ladies first, Dr. Mary Hancock. What do you have to say about this business finance topic?
Michelle, I go back to when I went to college and the foundational principles. When I was in college, I thought that the person that was teaching me about business was actually running a business.
Oh,
Just later to find out that is literally in theory. I mean, it really, taking the KBBU class has really enlightened me in a lot of ways because I had never thought about that before. I just assumed that being taught in college by all these people with a PhD, with a this, with a that they actually own businesses and running businesses and can run businesses with their eyes closed, but that's not the case. It's really not the case.
It's not. So how many of us have been out there as a business owner taking a course from someone who actually has never even owned a business themselves? That is just information that they're getting from a book, so they can't really tell you the ins and outs of being a business owner truly because they never experienced it themselves.
I agree.
I feel you, Dr. Mary. I feel you. So when we think about running a business like a hustle, what comes to mind, Preston? What comes to mind first?
When it comes to unmuting before you started talking, okay, now I got it covered. Everybody, the hustle is like the startup. You're trying to, you just like what's the word I found out? You're trying to bootstrap. You're basically using your own resources, and you're trying to reach out to your you're gonna reach out to the people you know close, your family and friends. But it's too often the dark side of that is what they call the hookup.
The
Hey man,
hookup.
hook me up. No, I'm trying to generate revenue to expand my business, and you try to come to people you know for clientele thinking they're going to be supportive, and a lot of them, they want a whole lot for a whole little, if not free. And then
So
they'll give you the I'll get you back. No, you don't get me now, right?
I love that. So we're looking at two different angles. Dr. Mary is saying that if we look at it from the angle of, are the people who really talk about business, are they actually running an organization? Do they even know what that entails? Do they know and understand the ins and outs, the little details that everybody leaves outside of the book when it comes to running an organization and getting into the financial theories versus the reality? And then Preston is saying, why are we out here looking for a hookup once we do start a business? Once we actually get into the nitty gritty of being a business owner, why is it that we think that everybody is supposed to have a hookup for us on the other end as a client, because now they decided to establish a company? And why do we have the mindset that the person who has the business has it going on? Like they make so much money that they can afford to do pretty much anything and everything for the rest of the family, for the friendships. Oh, well, that person will handle it because they got a business. Why do we assume that that is always the case? Dr. Mary, what do you think about this idea?
Because you can always tell when people think like that, that means they have never had a business. It really does, for real. They have never had a business, so they don't even know what. They're just looking at what they see from the outside. But, again, I go back to going before I came to KBBU, and I did everything that the people told me to do. I wasted so much money. However, I did get good experiences, good hard knocks, but now, the ability to be able to go through it and make sure I'm applying what I'm learning here at KBBU. And I'm not just saying that because I'm part of the team. I'm saying that because it's really the truth. It really is the truth. So my thing is just making sure, and even here, not being in a hurry to get through it, that you don't learn what you need to while you're going through it. Because if you don't learn what you need to, you're gonna run into it again, and then you're not gonna be prepared. So just you gotta take out time, and the hard spots are hard for a reason, so that you can get the best lessons in those spots according to your mindset while you're in those hard spaces.
Yes,
Very
I hear
well
you.
said. Very well said.
Yes. Preston, what about you? What you got to say about this topic?
I'm gonna give you a real world scenario on how people think that they'll think that your product is inferior. And I'm gonna give you a good example. I am a travel agent.
Mm-hmm.
I've been traveling for a while now, almost a decade, right?
Yes.
Somebody that I know, somebody that I'm associated with, not just for me, that I know, tried to pay me a deposit for a trip with a check.
A check? When's the last time we use checks out here in the world?
Thank you. It gets funnier. Because I said, how often do you travel? Because first thing, how often do you travel? Oh, I travel all the time. And I gave him the dry look. I said, did you buy gas today? Yeah, I say so. I imagine your travels and your gas purchases, you swiped your card, right? I say, do you know who's on the other end of that? I say, you don't. I say, but I need your card information to secure your booking, and you want to give me a check. I was like, got it. I just said, got it. There's no arguing. There's nothing to with a small caveat. Don't argue with your clients. They either gonna do business with you or they not.
Okay. Come on now, Preston.
Don't try to convince nobody to support you. You gonna offer your service, and they get the dillying and dallying. You just politely, thank you, sir, but I thank you, ma'am. We don't negotiate here because you ain't negotiate with nobody else in life, but you're not gonna negotiate with me. Yeah.
I know. It's like they just want to decide that, okay, when it comes to us and our business, our families and friends are like, okay, well, yeah, they're going to give me the hookup. They're going to give me a discount. They're going to make all of these accommodations for me that they have never made for another customer just because we're connected in a way that maybe we aren't connected to a client. But the best client is the one that actually understands this is the product, this is the service, and this is the how much it costs. Okay, this is the price. All right. So, and they accept that and they pay whether or not we are close kin or whether we're friends or whatever the situation. We don't want to we don't want to run halfway businesses or mom and pop shop mindsets. We want to run actual organizations. And too many times we shortchange ourselves because we don't have the confidence in our own company. Maybe we haven't expanded because we just started out. And like you're talking about, Preston, even with the whole card situation, why would you give someone a check when people don't even use checks? I don't even think I have any checks other than the ones that didn't run out from the times when we were using checks. And that's been a long time ago, okay? So, how can we design our businesses to operate on a level of wealth and of, the things that we have been dreaming about the business being like? How can we begin to elevate? So, let's talk about some of the things that we should not be doing, which, like you said, is one, we need to have a real payment processor. We need to have a payment processor to receive payments and not just receiving cash and not just to sending somebody a cash app, telling the customer to send you a cash app or a PayPal or a Zelle payment. We need to understand that that's really not the way that professional business owners operate their money. We don't do that, okay? That's not something that we should be doing as a business owner. We need to really have the proper tools and equipment in place so that we can run payments through a credit card processor. All right, so that's the first thing. I just want to talk about that because Preston brought up the whole check thing. The second thing that I want to talk about is, do we have a system in place that we can actually send someone an invoice? See, if you got the merchant processor in place, then guess what? You have the ability to be able to send your client an invoice. And when you invoice the client and they see, oh, well, wait a minute, maybe they forgot to make their payment, or maybe they intentionally just didn't make their payment and thought that you was going to forget about it. But as a professional business owner, not as a hustler, not as somebody that's trying to make a little bit of money real quick and then pull out of the game and go do something different. That's too much of that is going on. Like, we really got to stick with the one thing that we are saying that we're going to do. What do people know Michelle Green for? Y'all answer the question.
Credit repair, KBBU, always being upbeat and jubilant. Yeah, things like that.
Okay, so see, that's what I'm saying. You know me for credit repair. You know me for business, being a business owner and having multiple businesses and teaching business owners how to do business the right way. Y'all know me for that. So when I say that we got to stick with one thing, we got to get out of this hustle mentality because the hustle will take you to the grave. Literally, it will destroy your business.
Right.
So one of the things we got to start doing is we got to start implementing an invoice. Do you send your clients an invoice when it's time for them to make the payment or even prior to making the payment? Do you prepare your client to make sure that they are fully ready to pay you? And do you have the payments on reoccurring? See, I'm pulling out some stuff from the VIP Masters class, but we are doing this behind the scenes. I know y'all looking crazy like, wait a minute, Michelle, you telling some stuff that, we ain't supposed to be talking about to these billions of people who watching. But
Getting away the goods.
the point is that everybody needs to understand that we got to get out of this hustle mentality. So send them an invoice and set the customer up on a recurring payment so that you can consistently many lapses in our payments. We have too many lapses in the decisions that we are trying to make around becoming wealthy. How can we be wealthy and we're inconsistent? We don't even know if we're supposed to receive a payment or not, because we done forgot, because the only thing we was focused on was getting the payment one time, not multiple times. Oh, I'm gonna let y'all come in and jump in. Dr. Mary, what you got to say about that?
I agree, Michelle. 44% of the people that have a business, only 44% actually have some kind of formal education. That's why KBBU is so important, because it's not that people don't want to do it. They just don't know how to do it.
Right.
And then not only that, in them knowing how to do it, then they want to figure out, okay, I'm stuck. But when you are in a space like KBBU, you don't have to be stuck. You can get it laid out, because it's important. The foundation is so crucial. It's just like any other foundation for a house, a language, whatever it is you're doing. So you got to make sure you take time to understand how the foundation of your business should be structured. That is what KBBU is all about. And my financial coach says all the time, when people don't want to pay you, price is only a problem in the absence of value. So what you saying?
Oh, price is only a problem in the absence of value.
So what are you saying? People say it all the time, and when they ask us for stuff for free, and yeah, you will give away stuff. But my thing is, if I value you, Michelle, when I come to you, I shouldn't be asking you to do it for free. I shouldn't be asking you to do it for free. Why? Because I find value. I can't do what you do.
All right,
I can't do what you do, Michelle. So if I find value in that, what is the problem? Because if I go any other place, I'm going to have to pay. And I'm sure I'm going to have to pay more. So my thing is, we got to make sure that we are holding our standard, the standard. It don't matter who we dealing with, because when your friends realize, okay, you know what, Michelle is coming the same way Michelle came the last time, President is coming the same way he told me the last 5 times. Now the standard is set. But so many times we let people, and we do it, we lower our standards. Ooh. And now you're not stable in your standardization. So now you're trying to figure out, well, Sue went and told Johnny, and Johnny coming back and asking you, but you don't have a standard. Ooh. So you got to make sure you get a foundation. But even in getting a foundation, you establishing your standard for your business.
Yes. I've got 2 snaps in a circle for that. Hey, establish an SOP, standard operating procedure. Hello, that's what professional businesses do. And we are supposed to have a standard of value. Like, if you don't believe in your own product, then how can somebody else believe in it? Right, Preston?
Ooh, you stole my thoughts right out of my head. Doubt will keep you in debt.
Yes, it will.
Yes, it is.
Keep you in debt. It will keep you broke, because you are dealing with confidence issues. You're dealing with whatever you got going on in your personal life, and you're not even taking the inventory of the value of your own product or service. So yes. How can you expect people to support your business, and how can you expect them to support a business that is really built on a rocky foundation? It's gonna break at some point.
Expectation management too. If you got a good product that takes off, great for you. But if you got to put a little bit of work in, put the work in. Exactly. I'm a walking, talking, breathing that. When I started my business, everything was good. Then COVID hit, and nobody was going anywhere. So it's hard for a travel agent. Ain't nobody traveling. But
true.
I kept it going. Kept taking care of business, advertising, being proactive. And one of my friends, man, I met him in the 3rd grade. We were 8 years old together. Here it is, 2 decades later. He said, "Hey, you still do travel?" "Yes, I do." Then next thing you know, 26 of us are in the Dominican Republic, having the time of our life. Right? Wow. From that one question, 5 different group trips spawned. Right?
What?
Yes. Back to back years. We have a certification that we receive Once a travel agent earns $5,000 in commission, I'm on the 5th certification in a row.
Go, Preston!
No
That
question.
is amazing.
So yeah,
Yes.
but it's like, don't doubt yourself. If you know you got a good product, a good service, stay with that. You're gonna get a client here, a client there. Next thing you know, one of those clients, word of mouth advertising is a beast, bad or good, right?
Right.
So that's why you need to handle your business. That's why you need to take care of it, because you'll get the, oh yeah, he know what he doing. She got a great service. You don't know who they talking. They can be talking to just one other customer, or they can be talking to a corporate planner. You don't know. So stay with what you stand with. If you're gonna be sad and upset because you don't think your business is good, go cry in the corner. Go cry in your closet. All right. But when you come out in front of people, be bold, be confident.
That's right.
You know, yeah. Puff your chest out, pop your collar, and smile. I don't like dealing with people. Can I help you? No, I'm good. No, I'm gone, right?
Exactly. Who want a mean face, mean mugging while you trying to conduct business? Let's get into that topic, because that was my next subject. Customer service skills. If you're running a hustle and you got poor customer service skills, then how do you expect your business to be supported? How do you expect your business to be supported if you got poor customer service skills? Let's talk about it, y'all. So we're talking about, do you follow up with your customer? When you're on the phone with the customer, or you're in person with your customer, you're on a virtual meeting with your customer, how is your attitude? Are you nasty? Are you rude? Are you trying to get them told? Are you trying to force them? Like, what is your attitude like? You cannot expect to run a successful, wealthy business. I'm talking about millions and billions of dollars. I ain't talking about anything less than that. I'm talking about, if you're trying to get to that level where you really are going to leave a legacy, then how can you do that when you over here mean mugging? When you over here being nasty? People are always going to, as my grandmama say, you can get more bees with honey than you can, or flies with honey than you can vinegar. One of the two. I don't know which one it is, but I know that honey works. And that means that you need to be sweet. You need to be kind. You need to be gentle. You need to be patient. Let's talk about the patience now. How's the patience level over there, Dr. Mary?
It's better than it was. It's better than it was. But I want to speak to something about, we always want to come in business and have the business all straight. But what about your personal life?
Ooh.
Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So my thing is, if we have that standard that we're talking about, you have a foundation, you went through KBBU, now your business is solid. Now you went to the VIP, now you're getting information, now you talk to Dr. Tina, now you talk to the press, now you're able to scale it to the next level. That is the solid foundation. But when your standard is not the standard, now you got to be patient in the process with yourself. You got to be patient in the process with the process itself. And you got to be patient in the process and give people grace. You have to make sure that you know where you are and you are aware, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're taking care of business, you should be taking care of business all around and not just one part of it, because now you still don't have the standard right, because you are up the par over here, but then over here you're not up to par. So it takes a whole lot more energy now because it's not consistent. And we have to make sure we're consistent with everything. You know what? We are not our circumstance, but we have to make sure that you handle people the way you want to be handled, that you talk to people the way you want to be talked to, and keep a standard so that you hold yourself to a standard. If you hold yourself to a standard, you'll hold others to a standard, and then you'll become aware and people will be attracted to your standard. And then you don't have to worry about it, because that word of mouth would take off. It will take off and it will take off. But if you are sloppy over here, you toe down over here, and you got this one part together, you're not consistent. The standard is not the standard. And it is so important Yeah, we all have those days. I get that. When I have them, I stay in the bed. I stay away from people. We all. I'm not saying that we're not gonna have a moment, but make sure you take inventory in that moment, because people can't offend you. You gotta take offense.
So throw me an alley-oop, Dr. Mary. Throw me an alley-oop so I can slam this one home. What you just said.
Say it again.
I said, throw me an alley-oop so I can slam dunk and take it home. Your message, you said I'm gonna add something to it.
Go ahead. I'm done. Go ahead.
Okay.
Take it.
When you hear the phrase talking about the exception to the norm, I'm gonna flip that. Your normal should be exceptional. All right.
Say so. Come on, somebody.
Yes. So the thing you should do should have a lasting impact and a lasting memory. Okay.
Yes.
The details of what you provide as a business, people should be talking about those details. They should use the phrase, because they did this. If you want it done this way, go to this person. When I was in the academy, when I was still in the military, just an example. It wasn't business, but it's an example of how people can talk. I was young staff side. I was digging in my fingernails. I was at a little conference, mad in the back. And our command sergeant major said, if you want to see something, a ceremony performing the standard, go watch that young man do it right there. And I turn around, everybody looking at me. I'm looking down, playing with my feet, no finger. I looked up. I smiled, hey, all right. But yeah, he told everybody, that man is the standard right there. You want to see how it's done right?
Wow.
Go watch him. Right?
Wow.
Because I took pride in that, all in my pretty uniform, all shine, all my medals, I wanted to stand out, not to impress people. I wanted to do a good job. Business owners, you want to do a good job. So keep your mindset on that. You want to be top-notch service, right? You're not doing it for clicks. You're doing it for that return clientele. That's what you're doing, right? We live in a world of social media and all that. So, you can get instant recognition. Yeah, make sure you get all of it, right? Get instant references. Make sure you get it all, right? And what you say, and then on top of that, we get monetized by our social media now too. That's another stream of revenue. Your physical product and your reaction is all on you. You are the driving force behind your success. So put that mug in gear and go for it. All right.
I love this. This is so good, because we talk about being a person in business that's a hustler, and you're saying, like, Mary is over there talking about, the consistency and the standard. And then Preston is coming in on the back end, dropping dunks. I'm talking about dropping mics. Like, yes, this is fire, because we really don't understand that our attitude is the thing that causes people not to support our companies. And if they don't support our companies, then what's going to happen to our money? We broke, like you said before. We don't get the opportunity to keep the money that we made. See, it's one thing for us to earn the money, and then once we receive the money, do you have a hole in your bucket? Do you have a hole in your bank deposit? Because the money is just going out fast as it goes in. So we got to understand that in order for us to allow that hole to be sealed up in our bank deposit, in order for us to seal up the hole that's in the bucket, when the money starts coming in and all the money is being poured into this bucket, this invisible bucket, right? Our bank accounts. Then we got to understand, to seal that hole, we got to have good customer service skills. We got to have the ability to send out the right invoices, to have the right merchant accounts. We also have to understand that we can't have this emotional pricing. We cannot price our products and services. One day it's going to be $1,000 and the next day it's going to be $2,500. Okay? We can't be going up and down in the chart on our income. Like, what are we doing, y'all? If we want people to support our business, if we want the clientele, we want to be able to accrue the wealth, then what do we have to do? We got to shift our mindset. Get out of the scarcity mindset. Get out of the hustle. You are not in business to make a hustle. What is a hustle anyway? Let's define hustle.
Isn't it a dance? Don't that involve fans and all that stuff and boots on the ground? Ain't that a hustle?
So when you think about a hustle, you're thinking about somebody advantage of you. So why are we constantly identifying ourselves as being a hustler? Why are we identifying ourselves as being someone that is hustling in our business? Like, do we really think that people want to buy into a hustle? Do we really think that people want to support a business that they don't even know is going to be here today or tomorrow? Gone tomorrow, here today. Okay?
Michelle,
Yes, go
you know,
ahead.
I take it back to some people just don't know. Some people, that's all they've seen. And so now we have to make sure that our standard is the standard so that, as Preston said, I stand out, you stand out. Now people trying to figure out, well, where you, how you got your stuff together? You know, it's going to be something about you so that they can have that question, so they can run into KBBU, so they can realize, okay, you know what? The standard, Michelle don't change her standard, y'all.
No, I don't. I don't care who coming.
It don't
I don't
matter.
care who coming.
It don't matter if it's your first time, your second time, your 10th time. The standard is the standard. And that's what makes it good. And you don't have to be emotional about it. And let me give you a point of reference for real. I had talked to someone about writing a grant. And this is before I got that price list. This caused me to get the price list. And we negotiated a price. And I did everything that they asked me to do. And this man said to me, well, my wife could have done that. I don't owe you the money that we agreed upon.
Because he could have done that.
He said his wife could have done that. So I said, okay, you know what? Well, what do you think you owe me? Just pay me what you think you owe me. Because at that point, I'm not going to argue with you because I know the value of my work. But my thing is, at that point, sometimes we just want to articulate. But if you give people a price sheet, your numbers ain't going to lie. I said what I said because I said what I said. And that helps you. It helps you be consistent with the standard. Because now they know if you sat down and did a price list, and just don't fly by the night, fly by the seat of your pants. Hey, I've already gotten this together and it's part of the standard. So you don't have to try and figure it out. It's right there before you in black and white.
Yes.
Yeah.
Come on through. And you brought up another crucial point about being a hustler. And that is, where's your contract agreement? Because you got your pricing chart, okay? If you got the pricing chart and you're not emotionally pricing your services or your product, then where is the contract agreement? Because see, when you have a contract agreement, it holds the client to the contract. If they agreed at the initial beginning and then, like your guy said, oh, well, somebody else could have done that. That's one thing, and that's an opinion. But the contract agreement will state that this is what we both agreed to. This is what my promise is to you, and this is what your promise is to me. So therefore, that price variation goes all the way away, unless you want to see me in court. Okay? That's how we handle that, y'all. So we got to get out of this hustle mindset, because the hustle mindset is not going to work.
You want to know a good example? I'm gonna give everybody a good example. There's one profession that can sum up customer service and the hustle in one person. Be a bartender. Think about it. If you are
like
an exceptional bartender's tip jar is always full, is it not? Right? An exceptional bartender have a line almost out the establishment, right?
Yes.
So think on that mind. I mean, regardless of what business you do, be a bartender when you do it. They are customer service savvy. It's bartenders out there that are so amazing. They know them walking down the street. Oh, that's him. That's her. You know,
that's
that
true.
right there. They recognize you for who you are, even though you're not performing your profession. That'll drive people to you. Hey, if you're going anywhere, go to that club because so-and-so is there, right? Go to that club because Dr. Mary is there. Go to that. No, bar because Preston is there. And the drinks that they serve, the quality of service, right? That's what it's the experience. That's another thing you want to fall under, the experience of your service. People, it's the product and the service. So if your service is amazing, your product will sell itself, right? And vice versa. So that's what it is, right? I can speak a little back and pop my collar. I got repeat clients because of the quality of the service I provided them, right? So, and then if you do, we ain't gonna gas y'all up. We're gonna talk about the highs and lows. You have a bad hair day, wear a hat. All right. Yeah. Put your new rag or something on and keep it moving, right? Learn.
Right.
Sometimes you gotta learn on the fly. Sometimes you gotta correct on the fly, all right? You can't have a meltdown, right? So
you can, just don't have it in public.
Exactly. So
Yes, indeed. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I apologize to you all. I don't know why my screen is going sideways, but I'm still here. And I am loving this conversation. I think that this is just a distraction for the people out there that are watching so that y'all can have something to laugh at, because we need to kind of lighten up the load since we're talking about things that really impact our life every day, especially in the financial arena. In business, we got to stop being a hustler. We got to stop being the kind of person that is, deciding that we're going to have poor customer service. We're not going to have contract agreements. We're going to change our pricing chart. We're going to decide that, okay, well, we just going to have a stank attitude and do things any kind of way. We're not going to hold any value. We're not going to have value within our own company, and we don't expect other people to have value. We're just going to go with the flow. We got to stop doing that, y'all, because that's not the way for us to have a business, have a successful business. So I just want to really, just end with this hustle mindset. The bottom line of a hustle mindset is truly the one that does not sustain. It is the mindset of not having any structure. It's the mindset of not being able to scale, like Dr. Mary was saying earlier. And Preston said he gonna come sideways with me. So it is what it is. Hey, y'all join me, okay, Dr.
yeah, my neck hurting. I'm stopping.
Like, I don't even know what happened just now. I really don't. But we just want to come on tonight and thank you guys for watching, because we really got to stick together every single week. We got to stay connected. We got to realize, like, no matter what goes on in our business life, we really got to keep that foundation secure. We really got to stay the course. We have to make sure that we are keeping our finances all together so that we can really have a successful professional organization. All right. And if you are not connected to the KB. Michelle Green YouTube channel, just know that you need to go ahead and click that subscribe button right now. As you click that subscribe button, make sure that you go ahead and share this video with a friend, with a business owner, with someone that is interested in starting a business, already has a business, been in business for a long time, and they're not at the point where they really want to be yet. Listen, share this video with a friend. Make sure you're subscribed and set your notifications so that you'll definitely never miss an opportunity to hear what it is that we got to say about entrepreneurship and the whole business lifestyle. Okay? Listen, Preston, Mary, do y'all have anything else that y'all would like to share before we go tonight?
I just want to say, in all that we are talking about, I love it, you guys. And I just want you to know that, you know what, when we come to KBBU, she's not expecting everything to be done in one day. It is a whole process. But the whole purpose of the process is so we can get our standard together, so we can get ourselves and everybody else that's around us and attached to us out of the hustle mode. So one thing at a time, one step at a time.
Absolutely. And Preston?
I'm my best client. When I do business, I use my own services, and I you gotta see what it is you're doing. I might be doing something crazy. Well, I can't do that. I'd rather me experience that than somebody else. So know your worth. Have your skill set going. Know your product. Know how to merchandise, and smile while you do it. All right.
Yes, indeed. I love it. I love it. Thank you guys for watching tonight. I appreciate you being here, Dr. Mary, Mr. Preston Johnson, our valedictorian for the coaches back in the day. Hey, from the last class. Yes, yes, yes. And thank you for the other coaches that are watching. Keep on sharing. Click that like button, share, and we'll see you next Wednesday from 9:30 till until we get finished. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye bye.